Welcome, Jay, from Overthrow, my little
Thanks for
podcast.
having me, Faye. Thank you
No,
for
you're very-
having me.
And congratulations on your EP release.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Faye, for all the hard work that you have done with Tommy and with Joel. Couldn't have done it without you. So
Oh,
you have a big share in the credit as well.
oh, thank you. I loved it. It's great music, and I love doing my PR work. It's a lot of fun.
Brilliant. Well, you're doing a great job, and thanks for the. I'm glad you dig the EP.
Absolutely. I sent it to so many people, not just like media people, but also musicians I know, like also death metal musicians, and they're all like, "Shit, this is sick," and they're like, "This band's from London, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they are. Yeah, you can hear it. Like you can just hear it's British death metal." I was like, "Yeah, that's true." Got that special sound to it. It's wicked.
Brilliant. Thank you.
I mean, oh, by the way, I'd just like to say there is a hella storm outside right now. So if anyone hears any noise in the background or if you hear anything, it's just nature being chaotic. Just just to be clear about that.
Cool.
So yeah, today we're going to be talking about the theory that people who listen to heavy extreme music tend to have a higher IQ,
Right.
which as a metalhead, I'm going to agree with that because
Yeah. Likewise. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, this is true. End of story.
yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening.
That's it. Yeah. All done. Yeah. I'm glad we cleared that one up, Faye. Yeah.
Yeah, so I read a study and it is a theory. It's not a
Mm,
thing, obviously, because
yeah.
music taste is subjective, but a lot of they did this study at a sort of, on those schools for privileged kids
Yeah.
with like high IQs, and a lot of them, a very high percentage of them listed metal or rock music as their favorite type of music.
Mm-hmm.
So someone has sort of extrapolated this and widened it into this theory of why does heavy music appeal to those with higher IQs? Is it the music that makes them intelligent, or are they choosing awesome music because they're already intelligent?
Mm.
The thing. So I just wanted to talk about, that's quite an interesting idea.
So I think there's two sides to it, or maybe more than two. Let's see how we go. I think so. I think one of the factors of intelligence of IQ means that you're more open to sort of abstract ideas and like sort of strange things that are not necessarily the ordinary, the mundane, the mainstream. So
Mm.
obviously, metal, extreme metal, or what any kind of genre of metal, whether it's thrash, doom, black, death, grindcore. Um, you have to, I think, you don't have to, but I think it helps if you've got that kind of open sort of perception, like what is music, and you think sort of outside your traditional sort of classical or pop sort of structures, even though a lot of metal does use classical and pop structures and chord progressions and things like that. Um, so I think, yeah, there's that thing of like being open to things that are not necessarily the norm, which is why it's outside of music to begin with.
Yeah.
On the other side to it, though, there's something about metal that appeals to. I think it was Tom Morello who said it on the Metal Headbangers Journey interview documentary. He said there's something about metal that appeals to the reptilian brain, where you can just lose all your inhibitions and IQ just doesn't matter. It's a primal, sort of primeval, sort of visceral experience that you only really feel through, well, not only, but like you can mainly feel through this kind of music. So I think in that regard, IQ doesn't really matter because, like, we all know like friends that are not exactly what you would call intelligent who are really into metal. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't necessarily make you smarter. I know some really fucking dumb people who really love metal,
Oh, me
but I
too.
think obviously but I think that's like any genre. You know what I mean? You're going to have people who are, there are probably people that are really intelligent that listen to, you know, Taylor Swift or Adele, whatever, not slagging them off or anything, but like just saying, you
Yeah.
know, I don't think music informs your IQ. I think your IQ informs how you perceive different kinds of music. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's something to be said about kind of that balance between, you know, it appealing to the primal brain and then the intellectual brain. Because also I'm one of these people, okay, maybe I'm not that smart, who knows, but like I don't like to over intellectualize anything,
Yeah.
whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's literature. And I'm an English teacher as well. So you think, well, that's kind of a contradiction in and of itself. But I think you should enjoy it for what it is. And then obviously you can dissect it and you can kind of say, well, yeah, you know, it's in this key and it's in this using these modes and whatever. But that doesn't necessarily make it any more sort of like of a catalyst to making you smarter or vice versa. It's just, you know, you can analyze anything. But yeah, I mean, you know, I've got a lot of friends who are obviously really intelligent and they have really, you know, high they have jobs where they have to have quite a high IQ in order to do their job. And they also have this love for metal. But I think the appeal is kind of part and parcel with this reptilian side, this kind of primal thing. It's almost like how Jung talks about the collective unconscious. I think that's what really is the bond of metal. Whether it's because also, you know, when you go to a gig, you meet so many people from different walks of life. You meet like, you know, the drummer that you see in the pub, the professor who emeritus who teaches at a uni, and you know they're bonded, but they have nothing in common intellectually, right? But what bonds them is that primeval urge that metal sort of how could you say sort of like turns you on, I guess, turns on that part of your brain. But I think that's with anyone. I think that's why it appeals to so many different kinds of people, whether they're smart or not that smart. But yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know. I think people don't like metal. It doesn't necessarily mean they're stupid, because some people might, although, and I'm being I'm trying to be very democratic here. You know, it's like there are some people who just don't like get it, you know what I mean? Or because they're just focusing on, oh, it's just really angry and I'm not an angry person. It's like, fair enough, neither am I really, but like that's metal's like kind of the outlet for that. That's why I play it, so that I don't have to go around and, you know,
exactly
and throw bricks at people, you know. that's just put on some skeletal remains. Oh, okay, cool, I'm good now, you know.
You just growl like a demon instead to get out.
Exactly, yeah. And it's like it's like it's a cathartic thing, I think.
Absolutely. Actually, I did my first ever podcast episode was on that, about the effect it has just, you know, on us listening to angry music, so that we don't have to be angry people, because, you know, we've got jobs and families and shit. We can't walk around being aggressive all the time. So we use it as a sort of mechanism. It's sort of a healthy way to get our anger out, I guess.
100%, and it's definitely like analgesic. Like if I feel really shit, if I've had a really stressful day, I'll put on some metal and I feel better straight away. You know,
and
because
I think also part of this study was that the sort of, because extreme metal tends to be fast paced, most of it. I'm counting like doom metal, but I'm not a fan of that anyway. So it tends to be quite sort of like fast paced and energetic, and that helps. That does something to your brain. It like stimulates your brain, and it actually increases your focus. Some studies have shown, and I think that
makes sense.
If you're already this very intelligent type of person who is maybe used to being focused and concentrated, fit in with your brain if you're listening to something that kind of stimulates that. Because I personally, like, I love tech death. I cannot sit and listen to doom metal. It bores the fuck out of me. My brain goes to sleep. I need something that helps me focus and like pushes me. You know, it's why when people go to the gym, they listen to metal. You know, they make like some, because it's just, it gives you this energy in some way and this focus. I think, it makes you more productive in a way.
I think so. I think there's part of that. You touched on a few things there. So I think, it like the fast stuff, like, you know, all black metal and death metal, especially. I think it turns on like the adrenaline systems. It's like sonic adrenaline. It's kind of like, it's like the aura equivalent of being on a roller coaster. You know, you have that kind of fight or flight response that kind of turns on, that makes you more alert, because it's like that's what that's your body telling you, prepare for something. You don't know whether it's going to be good or bad, but just be on alert. So that's why you kind of you're more in tune, literally. And so there's that aspect, that kind of thing to, and when you've got like a million notes going on, whether it's black metal, death metal, tech death, whatever, you're trying to, like, again, sort of decipher what's going on. Where's the hook, where's the riff, where's the chorus, when's the vocal going to come in, what's the message behind it. There is that. I will say this though, because I'm a huge fan of doom metal, not that big into tech death, but I do understand the appeal of tech death, because it's like showcasing, amazing musicianship, and that's fair enough. But I also like doom metal. I like it a lot because it does kind of put you into that trance. Like, if you really just kind of, and as a guitar player, I like hearing, like a band like Electric Wizard or Sleep, or Church of Misery. Well, they just play the same riff for like 10 minutes, but it's like, it kind of lulls you. It's almost like that kind of, like, it's almost like a lullaby in a way. It lulls you into this fear, into this sense of, like, I wouldn't say calm, but like that mood, that heavy sort of downer mood. But then you take something like Acleus, who with their brand of black metal is terrifying. Like, it genuinely is, like, puts you in that state of like, okay, I'm going to die now. It turns on that kind of like fight or flight. So and then you listen to a band like Cannibal Corpse or Obituary, and you're just like, yeah, I just want to punch the ground and be a knuckle dragging Neanderthal, which is great. Which is, again, that part of the sort of reptilian, sort of that early man part of our brain that we still have. It's just that now we've evolved, and now we have IQ on top of it. So it comes. The whole IQ thing, I think, is quite recent. Probably in the last, like, I don't know, 500-600 years, when we started talking about and intellectualizing music, like classical and things like that. But it's got loads of different functions, for sure.
I think IQ testing started in World War One, actually, when they were signing up soldiers. They wanted to find a way to classify people and to work out if they were draftable, I guess.
Yeah, sure. They still have that now, don't they?
So if you were unskilled, according to this chart, then they'd just shove you in the army instead. I think that's where they first started developing those kind of tests. As a musician, what is your role in stimulating that kind of caveman brain, as you said?
I think if you've got a good, healthy awareness of how to craft a song and how to kind of take the listener on a journey and have like a narrative thread running through the song, because that's essentially that's what I try to do anyway. I try and tell a story in every song, and every song is a world unto itself, or at least my favorite songs are those things. And then obviously we put them together, and then that becomes an album or an EP. But yeah, for me, it's like having something to hook the song around, whether it's a narrative or a title or a lyric, or just a feeling or an emotion, whether it's speed or whether it's anger, whether it's melancholy or whatever, to take the listener on that journey with you, I suppose. And I guess tapping into those kind of emotions and atmospheres. But for me, like, when I sit down and write a song, my whole criteria for success is, if it moves me, then it's good. Like, I have to be physically, like, enjoying playing it on the guitar, because I'm not the best guitar player in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but I can write riffs and I can put them together in a way that's cohesive and coherent, and also takes the listener on a bit of a journey. And being an avid music listener, because I listen to extreme metal, but I listen to lots of other kind of music too. So I'm looking for those peaks and valleys, because I don't just want it to be one thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, here we are, point A, point B, done. Which some music does, but throwing in little cadences here or there, and again, taking them on a bit of a journey, I think, which is why I think we're so versatile. But yeah, that's kind of really it for me. Like, if I'm moved by it and I'm excited while I'm playing it, then usually the listener's going to be excited listening to it. But yeah, that's kind of the process for me, Faye. It's just like I want to just go into this little world and just, you know, go on a little journey and just see what happens, basically.
I love
But
that. So it's an intentional thing for you.
yeah, sometimes I mean, see, intent is weird because I don't consciously think, okay, I'm going to write a song now. I'll just sit down with the guitar, and normally what I'll do, I do this thing. I've started doing this thing recently where I'll be listening to a piece of music, like whether it's, I don't know, but I was listening to the new Unpure album, which is amazing, by the way, or I'll be listening to, like, I don't know, Cannibal or 200 Stab Wounds, and I'm listening to the drums, and I'm kind of playing the guitar plugged into the computer, and obviously the guitars on the track are going over what I'm playing, and I'm not playing along to the guitar. I'm just playing riffs over the drums, and that's how I come up with some like ideas. And then I'll hit on a riff, and I'll be like, right, I've got a song. Because usually, if I've got a riff, I kind of know where it's going to go, But all I need really is one or two riffs, and I've basically got a song. Once I've got the initial sort of lightning in a bottle, as it were, I'll then refine it and then say, okay, well, let me make this a bit better, a little bit more palatable, a little bit more cohesive. And then Scott is really good at not just obviously the drumming, but he's really good at the arrangement as well. So he'll say, okay, so you did this riff, this might maybe cut it down, put this riff here instead, and then he'll like help me jigsaw it together, which is how we sort of work. But initially, it's just me sitting down with the guitar, playing along the other tracks, and
that's really cool.
What comes out and just capturing it when it feels good there. And I've always got a recording device, whether it's a phone or my recording stuff at home. But yeah, that's basically it.
Nice, very organic. I like that.
Yeah, quite organic. It happens naturally because I play, and also I play all the time. When I'm not.
I remember you said that. You said you've got like, what did you say, like 4 albums worth of material or something?
Yeah, I think I exaggerated and said it was like 60 songs, but I think it's more like 40. But that's still not bad, I think. Like, considering
that's still like 4 albums.
Yeah. So and I'm still writing as well. It's not like, okay, I've written 4 albums, I don't need to write for the next like 10 years. I'm always writing. You know what I mean? It just so happens that I churn out songs quite quickly because it's what I love to do, and I want to do it forever, hopefully. So I'll send a song to Scott. I've got another one, really? Like, wow, okay, cool. Which is a good problem to have. And he's like, yeah, man, keep them coming, and it's like, but I don't do it for the reason that I want to make sure that we don't run out of material. It's just I just love to write,
It
just happens. It's what I do, and I've been doing it now. I've been writing this because it's funny actually, because in the early days when the band was 4 guys, the output and the sort of the work ethic wasn't what it is now, And I've said this before, since we've become essentially a duo, me and Scott, I mean, I'm working even harder, not because I feel like we've got less people to work with. We're working better now with the dynamic in the band because it's so much more positive, and we look forward to playing gigs and creating new stuff together. But in the beginning, progress was just slow because once you had 5 songs, like, okay, well now we're going to go do gigs, so we just would do gigs all the time, and then slowly but surely would put together what became the first album over a period of like 10 years, because we had member changes, lineup changes, etc. So that was quite a laborious process, but like literally the EP, I mean, like I said, it took a while, but it really wrote itself, and now the stuff that I'm writing now is just flowing out, and we've got the second album ready to go basically, and after we promote and gig and hopefully tour off the back of the EP, we're ready to go to album number 2. So
well, I want to hear it as soon as possible, please.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely be one of the first people on planet Earth to hear it, Faye, don't worry.
Awesome. You heard it here. So going back to the idea of this IQ theory, another thing that I read was that extreme music, it validates our negative emotions, our struggles, our challenges. We feel validated and like someone's understanding us, which increases our emotional intelligence, which is in part an important part of intelligence. Because intelligence isn't just math and shit, you
Yeah.
know. Do you feel like that has any weight to it?
Yeah, well, it certainly validates the idea that, like, again, you have this idea of like the collective unconscious, like other people feel these emotions as well, and they're expressed through music. So yeah, there is that sort of unifying bond, I guess. But I don't know, it's a hard one for me when it comes to this idea. People use the phrase like emotional intelligence, and I'm not really sure what that means and what to make of that, and if that even is really a thing.
I think it's referring to your ability to be able to identify your own emotions, express them, work with them, heal them, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You must know some people that they're just cold. They're just so
Yeah.
shut down. You ask them how they're doing and they just answer, I'm fine. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing. You can't sit and talk to them. Like you can't say, oh, I've had a really shit day today. Like, oh fuck, what's happened? There's none of that. It's just, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
They're just
No,
like
of
this
course.
constant. And that's, I would say, as an emotionally unintelligent person.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because like I feel like there are people like that who, I consider myself quite stoic. Like I'm kind of one of these people that I don't get. I try not to get sort of overly emotional when it's not necessary. You know what I mean? But like, and I feel like I don't really have to because I've got music to kind of do that for me
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, there is that kind of element, like you said, of validating the sort of the negative aspects. But like you said as well, like talking is also a good way to get your negative emotions out through therapy or whatever it might be, just talking to friends and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think I know some people like that, how you've described, who on the surface they're very kind of blank slate, but then you go to a gig with them and then they really kind of wake up. So I think then maybe that turns on the intelligence, the emotional intelligence, if you want to call it that, in them, I suppose, because then they're able to access it through music as opposed to words, like how you were describing. So yeah, I'd say partly, that could work. That could be true.
That's quite common in autistic people as well, because they have a lot of difficulty setting words on their feelings, or at least expressing it in a sort of socially acceptable way.
Yeah.
Like you will often see people with autism, not necessarily with metal, but just music in general, whatever they like, they get totally absorbed into it.
Oh yeah, it's like that. Like my brother is on the spectrum, and he is, I got him into metal because obviously he's my brother, and I want to include him in what I'm doing, and we're good friends as well. And he's only like 2 years younger than me, and he's gone really into it. Like really, he knows. He's actually funny. He's really into tech death as well. So, so he's like really gone into his sort of realm. And yeah, again, he loves going in the pit, and he's a he's a he's a big guy. He loves crowd surfing, and he'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna go crowd surf 20 times, and all that. And I'm just thinking, oh, those poor people, you know what I mean? I'm gonna like hold him up, but yeah, no, for him it's a release. It's music, and he's musical as well. So yeah, I think with people as well, like at the school I work at, there's a lot of a handful of kids who are also very autistic, but there's one kid in particular, he is obsessed with Emperor and Cannibal Corpse. Like he is just
nice,
completely obsessed, and he's like 12, and I'm just like thinking, and obviously it's part and parcel of his sort of condition, I suppose, but I'm thinking, yeah, good man, you're going to be all right. Like you're latching on to the right sort of stuff, because when you speak to him, he's very kind of blank slate. But then starts talking about, you know, Tomb of the Mutilated, and he'll just and just gets really excited and really passionate, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
so
good.
yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool that it has that appeal to, again, people of all different intelligences, intellects,
Mm.
neurotypical, non-neurotypical people. Um, Again, I think it comes down to this primal thing, this kind of this pre-intellect, if you
Mm.
like, that unites the community, I suppose.
I love that. I try and introduce my students to music as much as I can.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the teachers, we have like this assembly in the morning, and we take it in.
Mm.
We have each like a day of the week where we do more like our assembly, and all the other teachers, they're singing like hymns and shit with their kids, and I just,
Yeah.
and then my day comes around and they love it because I bring my laptop in and I hook my computer up to the big screen we've got, and I just, I play them. I go on YouTube and I'll just play them, not necessarily metal because some of them are like 6 years old. I don't want to
Yeah.
drop,
Yeah.
but just anything. Just I get them dancing and singing, and like just it sets a really good mood for the day.
Yeah. Hundred
If you
percent.
crack
Yeah.
out the hymn books, they're just like, oh,
Oh yeah.
and then
Exactly.
they
No.
learn, and then I want them to have a positive association with music. I don't care what
Yeah.
music it is, but it should bring joy.
It should bring joy, and it should bring people together, and you know,
Absolutely.
you're celebrating, you know, life with all of
Mm.
its, you know, as terrible as it can be. You know, I think, you know, why do we go to gigs? Why do we play in bands? Why do we, you know, listen to music? Because it makes us feel better. You know, it's simple.
100%.
And it's
I
like,
think if you if someone could bottle that feeling you get at a gig and sell it, they'd be a billionaire because
oh yeah, the world would be better. We wouldn't have as many, you know,
yeah,
as much shit as we've got, for sure,
100%.
100%. You know, because people, and I talk to people like who are not into metal, and they're like, oh, you go to gigs and you go in the mosh pit. I'm like, yeah, of course. And you go, oh, isn't it really violent and really like you get hurt? I'm like, well, no, not really. It's. I mean, yeah, you get hurt, you fall over, but people pick you up, you know, and like, yeah, you might get hit in the face, but that's because you weren't looking. You need to be aware. Again, you have to have that system in your brain that turns you on. It's that fight or flight thing, you know, and it's like, it's not violent. You're all just hyped up and energetic, and that's what the music does. That's what it's for, you
Yeah.
know. So
You're
it's
not
like,
fighting, it's just
no, it's not fighting. It's just
it
getting
looks
it out.
aggressive. It looks aggressive from the outside, and I understand why some people just stay away because you can get hurt if you
Yeah,
don't.
of course you can, but it's like, you know, you can get hurt crossing the fucking street. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And that's
yeah.
that's everyone does that. But for me, it's always been, it's like a ritual. You know,
Hmm.
it's like a cleansing. You know, you
Yeah.
come out and you're like, when the band's finished, like you turn to the guy that you were just beating the shit out of. You give each other a hug because you've been through something together. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? It's a journey, and it's like I've done this and I've done it in other countries as well. And it's not something you speak about. It's just, you know,
Yeah, it is this universal sort of
it's
bond.
universal. You don't even have to speak the same language
Mm.
because you're there, and you're
Yeah.
there for the same and you have a bond, you
Mm.
know.
Well, I'm gonna end this by playing a little game with you.
All right, let's do
That
it. I'm very excited.
I play with all my guests, including my own mum,
Okay.
Brian Slagle,
Mm,
mm,
cool.
Alex Jones from Undeaf,
Cool.
lots of cool people.
All right, wicked.
Um, and it's called Gift or Curse.
Gift or
So
curse. Okay.
basically, I'm gonna give you 5 things. We'll go through them one at a time.
Okay.
You have to tell me if that thing is a gift for the world or a curse upon the world and why you think that.
Okay. Okay. Right.
So
Got it. All
pretty
right, got
simple.
it. All right.
And I have question number 5. People who will listen regularly know what it is already. And yes, I asked my mum this question too. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Number 1, and
Yeah.
it's just random stuff every time. Number 1 is bubble tea,
Okay.
gift or curse.
Bubble tea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a curse, man. It's gross. I've tried it. I don't see it's disgusting. I had an argument. My colleague, she loves bubble tea. I'm like, it's disgusting. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I have to agree with you. I used to, so when I used to live in Amsterdam, and
Mm.
there was this really cool bubble tea shop, and it was like when it was first becoming really popular.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and I was like, oh, I really want to like this because it's, everyone's saying how good it is, but it's just those like chewy.
Yeah, it's disgusting, man. It's
It
like chewing
can,
those, those berries that you see growing in bushes on the side of the road. It just reminds
yeah,
me of them.
yeah.
And they're just really like, yeah, texture as well. I'm quite, yeah, no, it's gross. I
It is
don't get
minging.
it.
It is minging. Like, sorry for my American followers. Disgusting.
No, it's disgusing. Like, stop drinking
Yeah,
bubble
and
tea,
then they
guys.
get stuck in the straw. Oh,
Yeah, no. It's
no.
it's like sediment. I've only had it once, and never again. Like, no,
Yeah,
it's a curse. It needs to be got rid of.
brilliant. I totally agree with you.
All right, good.
Number two,
Hmm.
roller coasters. Gift or curse?
Oh, they're a gift. I love a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Love a roller. Yeah. I used to be terrified of roller coasters when I was a kid, and then I went on one in I went on a few in Thorpe Park. Oh yeah, they're great. Again, I love speed. I love fast things. Obviously playing in a death thrash metal band makes sense. Yeah, they're great because as long as as long as it doesn't break and you don't
Oh yeah.
die, obviously, which can happen. But like, oh no, they're great. I love roller coasters.
See, I'm shit scared of heights.
Oh
So
yeah,
the really tall. I went on stealth. Uh,
yeah. I love stealth.
we were on a school trip at sixth form, so we were what, 17, and my
Yeah,
mates, oh come on, don't be a pussy, and I was like the only one. I was like, oh, great, peer pressure.
yeah.
Go on then, and I nearly vomited. It
Oh
was
my
the
god.
worst thing ever. It wasn't the speed of it. It's literally when you get to the top
It's
and
the
it
top,
pauses.
and
It
then it's in
pauses.
free fall. Yeah,
It pauses for like 2 seconds, and I was like, "Is it broken? Am I stuck
yeah,
here for the rest of my life?" And then I started panicking, and then it just drops,
yeah,
and it's got the like it doesn't just go straight down; it goes in a little bit as well, and it's
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
It kind of
"Oh
goes
my God, we're
over.
gonna fall out! I'm gonna die."
Yeah, the saw ride does that as well. It kind of goes like over the
Oh.
sort of thing. And I've seen videos of people on stealth where because once it gets to the kind of the apex, then they turn off the engine and gravity takes over. And I've seen it where it rolls back and people are like, ah! Like it goes backwards because it's like a windy day or whatever. And
Oh
it's,
shit!
ah! But if you kind of I guess it's like anything like bungee jumping or parachuting or anything like that. If you just kind of think, right, it'll be fine, we're going to be all right, then you can enjoy it and just let
Yeah.
yourself let the adrenaline sort of take over. But yeah,
See,
um, but I'm all right with heights. I think I'm
yeah, I
okay.
like rides like the stuff that spins round or swings. I can do that because it's fun.
Hmm.
But as soon as I get up really high, like, nah, not good.
Tell you, there was one. There's I think it was a ride in Thorpe Park as well. It's basically like a swing, and it just takes you up like the 90 degrees. But
Hmm.
you're about 100 feet in the air and it holds you there and you're literally all your weight is on this one bar and you're just standing there. I'm thinking, okay, this is pretty.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'd quite like to come down now, but I like it when you're going on a kind of like when you're moving forward.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's
on a
fine.
track,
Yeah,
that's okay. But just hanging in midair, I'm like, no.
yeah, and or upside down, I can't do that. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no. But yeah, no, I like a
you
roller
like it.
coaster.
Hmm.
Blessing.
Okay, so number three,
Hmm.
sushi, gift or curse?
Ooh, okay. Now that's a tough one because I don't generally eat fish and I
Okay.
don't generally eat raw food. Having said that, I really like Japanese food.
Hmm.
Kind of Japanese food I like is like, you know, the hot stuff. I like hot Japanese food. I'm not that big into like cold, like raw food. Having said that, though, I remember I went and saw I was in Camden and I went and saw Malevolent Creation with a friend of mine. And
Oh,
we
sick.
went back to the dev and my friend who was working there at the time, he got a bunch of free sushi from one of the places around the corner. And I was so drunk and so hungry. I ate a whole tray of sushi to myself and was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. But yeah, like sober, I wouldn't normally go for it.
Yeah.
Um, having said that, it's pretty cool. Like it's cool food. It looks cool as well. Like I like the presentation of it. I like the idea of it.
Mhm.
So I would say, even though I don't generally eat it, I would still say I'd say it's a gift.
I would eat my own body weight in sushi if I physically could. I
I
love it.
used to go. I remember when sushi became a big thing over here, and they had yo sushi with the
Mm.
plates. Oh, that was great. But again, I used to just eat the hot food.
There's one of them
Um,
in every airport I've ever seen.
yeah, I think there's like a few still in London, but it kind of
Yeah.
they were everywhere, and they kind of like stopped coming. Like when they had Japanese restaurants all over the place now.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I love the yo sushi. Yeah, so definitely a gift,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
Number 4,
yeah.
quite a British one. I'm thinking a
Okay.
lot of people will know this, but I will explain anyway. Marmite
Mhm.
gift.
Ooh, I knew you were going to say that.
And for those listening who doesn't know what Marmite is, it's described as yeast extract, which sounds really unappealing. And it's like you get this jar, this black jar with a little yellow lid on it, and it's like this thick, black, sticky,
Like
very, very
tar. Yeah,
savory,
yeah. Very
almost
salty.
acidic. And you're meant to put it in soups and stews and stuff, but we, us Brits, we just slap it on some toast
Yeah,
because why not?
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
my dad puts it under cheese on toast and eats that.
Yeah, that's a very British thing. Yeah,
Yeah, toast stuff
yeah.
on toast is just British, isn't it? So
And
Marmite, what are you saying?
well, so and obviously also for people, you say you got listeners in America. So okay, so the ad campaign with Marmite has always been they've always said you either love it or you hate it,
Mm,
right? And it's true. You've never met anyone that says, "Oh, I kind of like it." You either it's like, "Oh my God, it's really nice,"
yeah,
or "Oh, it's disgusting. Get it away from me!" Like the
yeah.
smell. That I fall into the love category. I really like it. Yeah, I've been eating it since I was like a baby.
Hmm.
Marmite on toast. Yeah, it's a very British thing.
It is, yeah.
Um, it can get if you have too much of it, it can get a bit gross because it does make your teeth stick together because it's like eating tar. But yeah, I like it.
For me, it's extremely salty
It's very salty. Yeah,
and it's very acidic. I get mouth ulcers whenever I eat it, so I don't
really.
eat it. It's not that I don't like the taste, because if you
Mm.
just put like a thin layer on toast, it's quite nice.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't
And it
have. You
goes
can't
really
have
well with
it.
cheese on toast. It
You
does.
can't have it like super thick. You just have
Nah,
like a thin veneer of Marmite,
yeah.
and it's perfect. I experimented with it a while, like quite recently actually. I had some Marmite on toast, and I put peanut butter on it. That was really nice. Yeah, peanut butter and because you have the sweet and the savory and the bread, and it's pretty damn good. I've got to say,
I
give it a
tried
go.
the last time I was in England. 'Cause I love spicy food. If something's got chili in it, I'm eating it, right?
Yeah,
So, and they had this Marmite with chili, and I was like, that sounds weird, but I'm gonna try
yeah,
it. It was disgusting. It wasn't even spicy. It just tasted like off Marmite. It was weird.
yeah. I don't think you should fuck with it. Like
Nah.
Marmite's got its own specific like flavor, taste. There's also like there's an Australian version called Vegemite,
Mm.
which I was in Australia and I didn't ever try Vegemite. I never like I missed the boat on trying Vegemite, so I couldn't even compare. But they have their version. There's also I don't know if it's the same thing, but there's Bovril, which is
Overthrow, I think it is pretty much the
it's
same
kind
thing.
of the same sort of thing. But I
Yeah.
think you ask anyone which one are you going to go for? Marmite. Those are who love it. And then there are other people who are like, if you've eaten Marmite, stay the fuck away from me. Get that terrible shit
Mm.
away from me. Go have a shower. You know.
Yeah.
But I like it. I tell you one thing I tried though. I remember I got it because they'll do special edition Marmites and things. I went to the Guinness factory, the Guinness brewery in Dublin,
Oh yeah.
and they had Marmite made from Guinness yeast, and I bought some of that, and that was amazing. That was like it's a proper like really strong. You have that kind of like Guinness Marmite mixture. It works really well together.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, for me it's a gift.
for you, it's gift, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say gift as well because it's not a curse. I don't think it's a curse. My body hates it. I don't mind the taste in
Even though
small.
it gives you ulcers, you're like, oh, it's okay.
It does. Like every time, and I was like, this is just a coincidence. But it was every single time. I was like, okay, I can't eat this anymore. This sucks.
Yeah, yeah. No, fair enough. Yeah, I don't eat it all the time, but no, I like it. It's good. It's a gift.
Yeah. So number number 5.
Number
Um,
5. All right.
bearing in mind, I've asked my mum this and Brian
Mhm.
Slagle, CEO of Metal Blade Records.
All right.
Flavor condoms, gift or curse?
All condoms are a curse. All condoms are a curse. I mean, they are necessary, but they suck.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Flavored, not I've never used them. Flavored condoms, that is. But yeah, it just seems pointless. But yeah, condoms in general need to, go.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
No.
No, really not. I obviously you need them,
Hmm.
but they're just terrible. You know what I mean? They're
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, if they were necessary, we'd be born with them already on us,
Wow.
right?
Now
You
there's
know
a
what I
point.
mean? Think about that. Yeah. It's just artificial, it's just interfering.
Well,
Obviously, it's necessary, but
guys would
yeah,
have like a built-in one.
yeah, like a bit, yeah, one that's just like you press a button. Oh, there it is. Okay, go. It's all just like a second skin. But no, yeah, but yeah,
Probably.
flavored condoms. It's like kind of having, it's like saying like flavored hairbrush. Why? What's the point? Oh, your hair will smell like strawberry. Fuck off. Like, you know. And then who decides the flavor? And then who tests the flavor to see, oh yeah, no, oh yeah, it needs a bit more strawberry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like a guy like walked in one day and he's like, oh shit, I haven't done my project the night before for the big business meeting. Shit, well, let me just think yes, boss, I came up with this great new idea. Flavored condoms. And he went, Jenkins, you're a genius. And then he just thought, well, I blagged that. It's just seems like such a pointless invention.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen some weird flavored ones. They have Tabasco ones, they have bacon flavored ones.
Oh, surely that's gonna like sting if it's Tabasco flavored,
I
right?
can't tell you how fast I'd run away if a guy bought out one of them. I cannot describe it.
No, no.
But yeah, I don't.
But also like how you can't taste it. So just unless obviously you're doing the deed down there, but it's like no. Why would you wear a condom?
See, someone else on my, I think it was my friend Steve who was a guest on here. He pointed out that if you're a sex worker and you have to do stuff with your mouth, it
Yeah,
might be nice that it tastes of strawberry instead of fuck knows what else. And that's quite a good point, I guess. However,
sure.
in general,
Yeah,
I've never bought any in my life.
no, nor have I, and nor will I ever. So
No,
sorry, Jenkins, but you ain't getting my fucking money.
massive
Um,
red flag.
what did Brian Slagle say? I have to know.
He was so, I was so nervous to ask him because I
Yeah,
have such respect for that man,
right.
what he's done for the metal industry. And I also, I said to him, I was
Yeah,
like, I'm so sorry, but just
yeah.
the
I have to.
consistency, I have
Uh,
to ask you this.
I asked my mom. You can't.
Yeah,
I can't sidestep you, Mr. Slagle. Yeah,
exactly. Like you're a big boy, you can handle it, right?
yeah.
Um, and he laughed and he was like, "Well, maybe you should ask my girlfriend that question." I was like,
Good bad.
he was like, she'd probably give a better answer than me, but he said he's very diplomatic. He was like, I guess they have their use, otherwise they wouldn't be around. I'm
Well,
like,
like you said, the sex worker thing kind of made sense, but
yeah,
also like you would think to like wash yourself before you were going to go and like see a sex worker, no, and then you'd be clean.
I can tell you now, as a single woman, men need to wash themselves.
Yeah, no, this is true. You hear
It is
that, men? Wash yourselves, otherwise you're going to be wearing strawberry fucking condoms for the rest of your life. Yeah.
absolutely because
So curse to all condoms, but
Kurt,
flavored ones, it's just like,
I think the best ones I've seen are glow in the dark ones.
oh, now that is that could be interesting. But glow in the dark isn't a flavor. That's
No,
just like,
but as in like a novelty condom, like,
yeah.
and they market you the marketing. Try and guess what they market is with like the picture on social media.
Is it like I don't know, like stag doos or whatever, or I don't know.
Lightsabers.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, but that only works if you've got two
Oh, they
direct,
did.
right? Yeah, so you'd have to be. I call up my friend and be like, "Hey, man, I got these
Yeah.
light up condoms. Do you want to have a sword fight?" Like, don't call me again.
Like, are
You
you
know,
okay?
yeah, you're right, man. Like, do you want to talk to someone? Seriously.
So
Yeah,
that would be funny, but the flavor condom thing, nah, I don't get it.
yeah.
I
I
I
just came up with a great idea. Okay,
go on and
so you know, party poppers,
yeah.
right? So you should make one where, like, as soon as you ejaculate, it becomes like a party popper. But then that'd be quite like messy for the lady. But even so, if you did it
Messy.
like
Try
if you
painful.
painful,
Okay.
yeah. So you'd have to do it in a way that it doesn't harm your,
Yeah.
your friend. But just imagine, like, you blow and then there's just a fucking, you know, what do you call it, confetti. But no, do you know what? It's probably a bad idea. It's probably not a good idea to do
I
that.
mean, if you aim it properly,
Just try and keep
then it's
explosives
like a
away from the.
celebration. Be like a
Exactly.
celebration.
That's what I'm saying. Like a celebratory, or like, oh, when you ejaculate, it plays music, like triumphant music, like,
Like
I don't know,
like
like
when a
like
Ryanair
Rocky.
plane lands and they play
Yeah,
rock music.
yeah. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that could be good. All right, yeah, musical. Yeah, going back to music, musical condoms. That's what we need. I would get behind musical condoms. That would be the only contraceptive that I could put my name to. Maybe we'll make Overthrow musical condoms that, when you jizz, it plays Ascension of the Entomb. There you go.
Hun, you should be writing this down. This is gold. This is
Man, this is I'm going to copyright this as soon as I get home. Oh yeah, wow. So
Well,
yeah,
on
no,
that note, thank you very much for we'll just leave that hanging in the air, that image.
yeah, good idea. Thank you, Faye. This is great fun.
Thank you for your time. It was wicked. Yeah, and like I said, congratulations to the EP.
Thank you very much.
Ascension of the Entombed, available everywhere. Just saying. I've only been wanging on about it the last 3 months on social media.
You've been beating that drum for ages. Yeah,
I have, and it's worth it.
thanks,
Yeah.
Faye. Appreciate you.